Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Carver Conservation Commission meeting for Wednesday, January 17th, 2024. We'll jump right to our agenda in the order of business tonight. We've got a couple of discussions and one public hearing, one new public hearing. First off is 12 Pondview Way.
Is someone here for 12 Pondview Way? All right. Wow. Well, what it is the gentleman is an attorney for the property, applied in September for a extension of the order of conditions, and it fell into the COVID rule. And he tried to explain to me in writing that the extension went from 3 years after Governor Baker ended the COVID, all the extension times and all that when COVID was done. And that's not how it works. That's why I gave you this little piece of paper with the highlighter on it. What it is you add 462 days beyond the normal expiration date of the order of conditions.
Okay.
So I did the math, and he expired on or about June 25th, 2023 of this year. So he missed it by a couple of months. So I told him he had to file a new NOI, just to finish his job. He has a plan and everything. It wouldn't be a big deal. And he wanted to come in and ask us if he couldn't go with the Charlie Baker 3-year thing, which doesn't hold water.
All right, so with no one here.
Right, and he said he was going to come in.
Do we want to give him an opportunity to come in, or just say no?
What's up to you folks? I mean, I've been going back and forth with him, nicely since I did the technical review of it at the end of September, beginning of October, and this is what now, January, and I've sent him, the example of how it's done on second page from Beals and Thomas. That's an example of how it should be done, and he was going to come in for the first meeting here on January the 3rd, and he said, I can't make it. Can I come in the 17th? And he's not here. And we would set a precedent if that means everybody that missed their, deadline on an extension, we'd set a precedent and,
Yeah, okay.
It's explained. In this first letter, that's from the Massachusetts Association of Conservation Commissions. This is an attorney that's affiliated with them. He wrote this for them. So,
right.
It's got standing.
All right, so it's really 7 months from June till January, 7 months passed.
Right. And you're supposed to put it in 30 days before it expires. So he would have had to apply, say beginning of May, first week in May.
All right, then it's a new NOI.
Yeah, but, he wanted to give him a chance to come in and, give his argument.
He's not here.
He's not here.
Plus, I don't think we're going to change your minds anyway, right?
No, probably not.
But we wanted to give him a chance.
Yeah.
Right, but he said he would be here and he's not. So I will entertain a motion to require 12 Pondview Way to file a new NOI for the project.
So moved. Second.
All right, it's moved by Carl, seconded by Dave. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none.
Great,
All right.
thank you.
All right, 5-0. And another dead pen. Okay. 0 Indian Street.
You're up. This is the one that we went out and saw where they were excavating. It's on the north side of Indian Street, and they were excavating out around the hill, around
Yes.
the bog.
Yes.
Hi, my name is Monty Saif. I'm on behalf of ADGA Realty. I'm the project manager, and I'm here to explain what we're doing. If you want to hear what are we doing.
I think we'd all like to, yes.
Yeah.
Please.
So we're a cranberry bogs grower. We own the cranberry bogs on the other side of the street. We have like 400 acres over there, of which there is like 129 acres of cranberries. And on the area, same area, we have a cranberry bog, one bed, which is we renovated it last year. And we have our engineering department created 2 lots over there, and we intended to sell them. But because, the cranberry always needs sand, we are taking the sand out to use it in the cranberry bog and in the same area. We're not taking any sand outside or selling any sand. And we don't want to sell the property with the sand in it. We need to take the sand first and then sell the property. And we are in compliance with the DEP requirement. They went there, they told us what to do to put all those, the erosion protection and for the wetland and.
But one thing though, see, we have in the Carver bylaw, the wetlands bylaw, you're altering the land, within the buffer. And that's, why we called you in.
Yeah.
Because, you were doing excavation within the 100-foot buffer and the town's 65-foot.
Is the cranberry bog that you're doing the excavation around, is that a viable bog? Was that harvested this year? Yes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that an uplands bog, or is that
Upland.
uplands?
It's an upland bog.
Yeah, this one is upland.
It's an upland bog. Why DEP even come out then?
They came for the other one, which is owned
Across
by
the
the other
street?
guy, and the same way, they said, you know what, because of this, I would recommend to do that, and then we went the same day and we put all those
Okay.
sausages.
Okay, was that a silt runoff problem on the other side of the street? Okay. All right. What is the plan moving forward with that land? I mean, you said it's for sale. I saw the signs today.
Yeah, and not the cranberry bed, it's around it. That we created 2 lots.
Okay.
And we are intending to sell them when they're ready. But we cannot keep, the bed is gonna remain. It's not gonna be for sale.
Okay. All right.
And just for you to know, that bed is part of the others, which is the whole cranberry bog, which is from Tremont Street all the way to South Main Street, all the way to Lakeview. So all that area is a part of the one cranberry bog.
But the one on the north side of Indian Street is an upland bog where the
Yeah,
balance
it's an
is
upland.
wetland.
Yeah. No, it's upland.
No, but the rest of the bogs are.
Some of them down on Tremont Street are on the wetland, some of them are on the upland. This one is on the upland.
Okay.
So then it's really not under our jurisdiction.
No. Okay.
But DEP put it on our lap. I spoke to them about it yesterday morning, and they said, well, we're gonna leave it up to you guys. So they wanted us at least to have discussion for the record, so.
So what
What they did with him was they asked him to put the wattles around the cranberry bog,
Right.
just to protect the bog.
correct.
Then he said anything else is up to you guys. Like DEP always does.
All right. How much more sand is going to be removed from there?
We finished excavating, we still have like pile of them, we're gonna remove them.
Okay. And what are you going to do on the side of the hill to prevent erosion?
This is, for now, we have those.
Are you gonna lumen seed the
Yeah, sure.
side slope?
That was my question.
That's what he was asking.
Yeah, okay.
Mr. Chairman, did we ever find out about the Buzzards Bay Coalition thing on the other side of that hill?
No, we have not yet.
Okay.
You abut the property that's owned by Buzzards Bay Coalition or the Carver Conservation, one of the two. I don't know which one is side by side. To the southeast, the property that abuts you is conservation land. So that's why the question. No, we have not. You haven't heard from anyone from.
I've got, no lie, I've got like 4 calls into him. I called him Tuesday, and she goes, oh yeah, either I'll get back to you or the gentleman that handles, that particular, they haven't called me back yet.
Okay. So the answer is no, not yet. because, I mean, there are a lot of questions surrounding not only there, but Lakeview Street.
Thank you.
And,
Thanks.
you know, another winter going by and spring's coming.
Just to clarify with Gary, because it's an upland bog, there's 65 and 100-foot buffer.
They're not, no, because it wasn't dug in a wetland.
Yes, we have no jurisdiction whatsoever. Okay.
All right. Well, I don't think that there's any further action that needs to be taken at this point. I think you're free and clear.
Thank you very much.
Does anybody have any other questions, any concerns? Does everyone agree with that? I don't think we need to have a vote. Is everyone kind of on board with that? Okay, thank you for coming
We'll
in.
be always in touch with Gary, we'll communicate.
Just do me a favor, if you, and the commission a favor down the road. If you do anything like this in the future, just let us know, so that way if someone calls.
Yeah, from now on, you know, because when we discuss with the DEP,
Right.
you know, they recommended always, before we do anything, to discuss it with the Conservation Commission.
Yeah, please
Whether
do.
or not it's upland or wetland, whatever it is.
Right. And also, if you didn't sign in on that sign-in sheet, would you please sign in? Thank you.
Yes, when people see work going on, they don't call the owner, they call us.
Yeah.
So, all right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next up, 34 Bates Pond Road.
That's this email, I put 34 Bates Pond up at the top. All right, we went out there early, I think it was either
Thank
early
you.
spring, yep,
Thank you.
early spring or whatever, and he took out like 4 or 5 trees, and we went
Yes.
out and looked at it and said, okay. Well, if you read his text, he wants to take out the last 12 trees on the property.
Didn't we make a determination that there are some that were not an issue?
Yes, we did. I don't remember which ones, but I'd say maybe around half. I think everyone said, you know, they're okay, they should stay.
Yeah, they were leaning towards the water.
Something like that, yeah.
All right. I would tell him that since we did not indicate which trees we felt were fine, that we need to have another site visit.
Okay, so you want to go out, so if, for our February, whatever meeting it is, the first one, you want me to schedule a site visit?
I think so.
Okay, cool, I will.
Mr. Chairman, can I interrupt one second?
Yes.
I was running just a little late. I guess I was first on the list.
Okay. Yes.
Could I,
Please sit down. We've already made a discussion and we've voted, but I can reopen that
okay, thank you.
to hear what you have to say.
Thank you so much.
Please.
Oh, now?
Yes. I think that we've made a decision on 34 Bates Pond Road. We're going to go do a site visit. Because I think the three of you have not been there. Or were you?
Well, I think I will.
You were probably there.
Yeah.
It's a nice day. You're wearing shorts.
What are the chances?
But the two of you have not been out there, and I think you need to see it. All right, so we're done with Bates Pond Road. Okay, please, sir, have a seat.
Thank you very much. Sorry, I was running a little bit late.
That's okay.
So I had asked the commission for sort of an informal administrative hearing, if you will, on this property on 12 Pondview Drive in Carver. And as you probably have the file there, the original order of conditions was issued in 2019. And there were a number of reasons why the project really didn't get off the ground, not to mention the pandemic. And when I was speaking with Mr. Flaherty previously, we talked about the possibility of extension. At that time, not to be unfair to him, but at that time we thought it was a good to go. And so I paid the extension fee with the Form 7, $50. And then subsequent to that, he came back to me and he said that he's very willing to talk about it and very, very cooperative. But then he said to me, it looks like you really may need to file a new application. And so the pivotal letter that I interpreted the deadline was a September 25 letter. And the way I looked at it with the pandemic, I'm sure you deal with this, you know, frequently, or you have been dealing with it frequently. I viewed the fact that the moratorium on permits of any kind, municipal permits, was terminated after a year and a half on June 15 of '21, and so then I added the 3 years to that, which is what would have been permitted, and I came up with June of '24. That was my interpretation. I understand that, maybe the commission interprets it differently. I pointed out in that letter as well that the bylaw itself says under provision C that the order may be extended for one or more periods of up to 3 years each application, and the special permit condition up to 5 years. So I thought we would be good to go. The only thing that's happened in the meantime that I think is important to mention is that we did meet with the Board of Appeals I can't remember the exact date, 7 weeks ago, and they did grant a 1-year extension on the variance. And the variance was critical to building. The Concom order obviously was essential because of the location of the property, but on the other hand, without the variance, we had nothing. And we got a unanimous vote from the Board of Appeals to grant the variance extension for 1 year. And they did that administratively. No new filing, no new hearing. It was all administratively done. So I was hoping, by asking for this meeting, that, some sort of a administrative determination could be made to extend this, at least concurrent with the variance. Bobby Pazan is the contractor on the job. He was going to be here tonight. He was at the Board of Appeals hearing, but he has another commitment that prevented him from being here. It's not a big project. It's one house. Nothing has changed. The architectural design, exactly the same. The variances that were granted originally, exactly the same. Nothing has changed. So we were hoping to not have to, my buddy Joe Webby's here because he drafted the original materials. And so I was hoping that we could do it without another formal application. If the commission is privy to giving me some liberty on that subject, I'd be happy to pay the fees again for that. But I just wanted some streamline.
All right, can I say something now?
I'm done.
Okay. When someone does a filing with the commission, right? The first time I look at it, it's for administrative acceptance. That's what I did. Then after that, I do a technical review, and you failed on the technical review. Okay, your $50 is still sitting there. Whether this goes forward or you have to reapply with a new NOI, you would be credited that.
Oh, I understand.
Okay?
I'm not complaining.
Or if you want to walk away from it, we'd give you back the $50. But I want to show you something.
Sure.
This is from counsel from the Massachusetts Association of Conservation Commissions.
Right.
Right there it says, no, this is not a new expiration date. Where does it say it here? All right, you're automatically extended 462 days beyond the ordinary extension date for the order of conditions. It's not 3 years beyond when, Governor Baker ended the COVID restrictions and, the permit fees. So I did the math for you on your permit, and you're right, it did expire in March 2022. If you do the math, we're adding in the 462 days. You expired approximately June 25th, 2023. You applied in September. You're supposed to apply at least 30 days before your expiration lets go. Now, if we give you this exception, we have to do it across the board. And we're also being scrutinized heavily by Eco-Law, Save the Pine Barrens. If we go ahead and do this, they're probably going to try and either pull a lawsuit on us or they're going to, come after us in some way, shape, form, which they should. So that's our situation on our side.
Okay.
So it's 462 days after your expiration date. That's the way Governor Baker wrote it.
Okay. Well, if that's, what has to be, it has to be. I was just hoping for...
It just has to be that way, because we wouldn't be here if we, if those are the rules and we just said, yeah.
No, I understand. I guess I was interpreting it
Right. Well, I know you were, and that's why I sent the emails with
Right,
copies of this
right.
stuff to explain
I mean,
to you why.
From my perspective, we're doing it all in good faith to try.
Right.
So, okay, so Joe's here, we'll just reapply, I guess, and
Yeah, you already
Yeah.
have the plan and everything.
everything is
so-
set.
Right, so it's not like you have to redraft the plan.
No,
and do
nothing
all
has
that.
changed.
And
Nothing-
that'll give you 3 years.
Right, and you'll have 3 years.
You want to
it'll
come
be
to the Board of
clean.
Appeals with me and extend? Steve Gray was very, very helpful there, you know, because they could have said reapply too, but they didn't, you know.
Had their permit expired as well?
Oh, yeah, yes, it had.
Yeah.
Yeah, it had. Yeah,
All right, well, they have a little bit more leeway, I believe, in what they're allowed to do.
Yeah.
You know, their bylaws aren't as stringent and as scrutinized as Gary said,
Right.
as ours are, especially in this current situation. And we've had issues regarding this 462 days before us. I would say that for the most part, people have been cognizant about when their permits are going to expire and have been very good and been coming in
Right.
ahead of time. But there have been a couple, and we're nothing if we're not consistent. So we have to keep our rulings consistent across the board. So unfortunately,
I get it.
we've
I get it.
voted, and I don't think there's a reason to bring the vote back up again. So.
Okay, fine. I mean,
All right.
the septic permit is in hand, you know, and so we're pretty much ready to go. We'll just reapply and. go
That's all
through
you
the-
have to do.
Right.
And I would suggest to you, before you reapply, file a COC, a certificate of compliance for your old order of conditions. You should close one before you open up another permit, another order of conditions. You should not have two, you know, open order of conditions.
Even though we didn't comply?
Right, because did you file with the Plymouth Count Registry of Deeds with the order of conditions? I believe you did.
Yes.
Well, you want to pull that lien off your property.
Okay.
If you leave that, and let's say we pull another order, and then you close that one, you're still going to have an open one, and you're going to have to file it if that property goes to move.
Okay.
You know, the attorneys that do, the title attorneys will catch
No,
you.
no, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
I just wouldn't see it as a compliance certificate. but
We would
maybe-
probably caveat that by saying that the permit had expired and work was done to a certain point, and that a new permit.
There's a checkbox for that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay, fine.
All right?
Fine. Thank you very much for your feedback.
Okay.
All right, thank
And
you.
have you signed in, sir? If you
Oh, no,
haven't, would you
I'll-
please?
I'll do that, thank you.
Thanks.
Almost every solar project in town has been delayed for a lot of reasons revolving around COVID, whether it's materials or
Yeah.
people.
There was a time you couldn't get anybody
Yeah,
to do anything.
I know.
All right, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Take care.
Thank you.
All right. 238 Tremont Street.
Okay. That's Mr. Hieronymo's property. We went out and looked at, I don't know, 2 months ago, 6 weeks ago, or whatever. His property's right across from where Lakeview comes out onto Tremont.
Yes.
Right across from
Okay.
Dave's.
Now,
Yes.
I just did I did a phone call just to follow up. He has had the property wetland flag. He's had surveyors go out and find his property corners, he said, and locate the flags. They're coming up with a plan, which he's gonna present to us.
Okay.
Okay?
Good.
And he said he's really sorry. He goes, after talking to some people, probably the wetland scientists, he said, I didn't realize there was restrictions. So they thought he pretty much could do what he wanted.
First time I've heard that.
Well, that's why I brought it up. I was like, wow. For what it's worth.
Okay, well, good. I'm glad he's doing what we asked him to do.
Right. So he'll
which is
be in
good.
with something shortly.
Okay,
Okay?
great. Thank you. 187 Meadow.
Okay. This property's been back and forth with us in DEP since since spring of 2023. Do you want me to go through the whole thing with the cease and desist and all that for the record?
I think so. I think we should probably have it on the
Okay.
record.
Now, DEP spurred all this. I got a call from Andrew Poyant. He's our circuit rider for DEP. And he said he got a complaint from an abutter that she thought illegal activities were going on out there. So I went out and took a look, and they were removing some trees that had grown up in the bog and, you know, doing a little touch of earthwork and stuff. So till we found out really what was going on, I put a cease and desist, you know, on the operator. So the property owner went to DEP and talked to Brendan Costa, who overrode my cease and desist, and I had put that on just until we figured out what was going on. And he said, no, it falls under agriculture, we'll give him the benefit of the doubt, leave him alone. So, okay, fine. So subsequently, I got a call from DEP about a month ago, and Mr. Costa said, I'm very angry at this person. He kind of lied to me. Basically, that's what he said. And that he had gutted out the cranberry bog and put fill on the, when you're facing the property on the left side, which everybody witnessed today. And if you look at the plan on that left side, I mean, the bog went pretty much to what the ANRAD plan has right to the property line, so put in quite a bit of fill.
Yes.
So DEP said, we're gonna put it in your lap, like, again, they always do, and they said, we'll back you, which you see from the email that I gave everybody that, you know, they're gonna go along with pretty much what you folks say. So, you know, you were out there, you saw it, and right now the property owner feels that the commission has no teeth in the matter or no say-so because DEP told us to back down. He said that, you know, when I've talked to him in the past, this is between DEP and the federal government, which, you know, does the ag plan. So now that we've got this email, you know, DEP saying, okay, you know, you guys can go ahead if you want to do anything, you can.
All right, so we were all there today. Comments from the board?
You know, we were talking about having them restore it back to the original was originally. Maybe
Well,
one option.
we can discuss that.
Yeah, I mean, I think, I was kind of surprised to see a bog have all its plant bushes ripped up. I think that's a drastic thing to do. I don't have a lot of tenure on the board, so maybe it isn't that uncommon, but.
Now, he went to DEP saying he was going to reclaim it as a bog. Is that what?
Yeah, well, he was saying he was gonna restore it.
Right.
Okay, from my understanding, from what DEP tells me. So, I also checked Zillow just to see. It's not being advertised as a house lot or anything. I think people are just speculating and calling into our building inspector that, gee, can I do something with it? It says it can be used for maybe several type of agricultural endeavors. But it doesn't say for a home.
I saw the same ad you
Yeah.
saw, and it
I
said,
just wanted to check.
motivated seller to sell as is.
Right.
So under normal agriculture though, he could fill it in like that, right? If he stuck with it as being a bog, right?
No, because, all right, it's, the way it is that was a working cranberry bog for, let's say, just for a number, 15 years or whatever, okay? 20 years, what have you, different owners. That's what its use is, okay? If he wants to go and do something else with it, a different kind of agriculture, no, you can't just go and fill, because that is an actual wetland bog. It's got streams associated with it, and it was dug in a swamp.
Right, so the historical wetland boundary is what we have to.
Yeah, which I mean, pretty much as far as we're concerned, we can check aerials and stuff, but according to this plan, you know, they did locate, you know, the edge of the bog.
And it looks like it's right at that boundary that we saw today.
Which we thought.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. And yeah, you can see that it was not only earth pushed into there, but the entire drainage or irrigation ditch
Right.
along the east side of the bog was filled in. and graded.
And Mr. Costa did physically go out and inspect it, I don't know, like 6 weeks or so ago. And he did mention that he believes the ditches were filled.
Yeah, they were, there
Yeah.
certainly were.
So, I mean,
Absolutely were, yeah.
It was,
so that's earthwork beyond normal agricultural maintenance.
right.
And it's not restoring the bog. I mean,
No.
it removed the
I don't
grass.
interpret it as that, no.
I think you should make them restore it.
Well, I think that for now, we reintroduced the stop work order.
Okay. I'll write a letter, how's that? I'll send it
That's fine,
certified.
and ask him to come in front of us.
Yep.
And tell us how he's going to restore this bog, because that's what he told us he was going to do.
Okay, yep, fair enough.
All right?
Sure.
And that,
He-
the, can that letter you send him, would that act legally as a lien against the property?
No, that, you can only do a lien if it either gets recorded at the registry of deeds or it's an enforcement order. Because, you know, that's a state form. I think that has teeth to it, if we had to go to court or something. But a strictly violation letter, I don't think so. But I'm not an attorney.
How many steps are we away from an enforcement order?
Well, usually we write a letter, violation letter, you know. You have to, you gotta take steps. And what date, while I'm thinking about the letter, what date do you want to give them to show up?
The 7th, our next meeting.
Okay.
Just
We'll do
to your
that.
point.
Yes,
Yes,
yeah, exactly.
anyway, so
I think the
anyway,
clock
if he
needs to start
doesn't
on
show,
this.
if he doesn't show up for that or doesn't want to comply, then you do the enforcement order.
Okay.
All right, yeah.
Because that, like I said, we got to start the clock on this. It's been played out too long as it is.
Well, I don't want him to sell it to somebody else, and it becomes their
exactly.
headache.
You want to make sure people are protected, just like I do.
Right,
which is-
because then you're gonna have someone coming in here not knowing
Right, what they got.
what, yeah.
Right.
So I just wanted out there, you know, to be on the record that work was done most likely illegally on this bog.
And he's at least got a quarter acre, he filled at least a quarter acre of that bog.
Yeah, because it looked like it went all the way across the back edge of the bog as well.
Yeah, it
It
did.
wasn't just that east side, it went
Right.
south too.
So even though initially the DEP said it's agriculture, he can do what he wants, basically, he's not gonna have an argument to come back on us, right?
No, that's why I had,
Yeah, that's what I'm
that's why I
thinking.
have
So we-
this email from DEP.
So we can just use
Well,
that and say
well,
we're
Dave,
just-
see, you gotta look at it like, when you're doing agricultural stuff, it doesn't mean gut out all the plants, fill the ditches, you know, and then fill the whole left side of what was a bog. That's not agricultural use.
Yeah, I know. I just want to be, so it's clear that,
Yeah,
yeah.
And I think if we go back to the meetings, you know, the video of the meetings that he was at,
Right.
when we first talked a couple of years ago, or a year ago, that he did say restore. That's the word, he was going to restore the
Okay,
bog.
that's my belief
So
too.
that's the word we have to hold him to.
Yep, oh, exactly.
So we'll bring him in on the 7th, say, when are you going to restore the bog to its previous dimensions and
Because right now, with that fill on the side, I mean, they could run either an access roadway or a driveway if they tried a house again, instead of going all the way around.
right, okay, let's have him come in on the 7th.
Now,
Okay.
that ditch on the left side that they filled in, where they pushed all this stuff, is that on their property or is that on the other, is that on somebody else's?
It looks like they pushed earth right to the property line,
Yeah,
because the ditch is still there, but
it's been,
it's not
Compromised.
as wide as it used to be.
yeah. It's,
At least near the road. I think further back, it looked like it opened up a little bit.
But yeah, it's possible, it could have bled onto.
well, that's what I mean, is he impacting somebody else's
Well,
property?
what we can do is, if he comes in, when he starts to do work out there, we can have him put, you know, those tall stakes every 50 feet along the property line and see if he did go over.
'Cause it-
That's a reasonable request.
Because
Okay.
where that property marker was, there was work done beyond it.
I
So
saw
he's
that
definitely
too.
impacting somebody
Okay,
else's property.
all right. Okay. All right, that's that. Yeah, had a lot of visits there. All right, next up, Ms. Hewens. This is a discussion about Purchasing equipment for the Carver Trail and Conservation Steward Commission, utilizing Mass Trails grants. And there's a little bit of a history of this. I'll let Ms. Hewens explain.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Sarah Hewens. I'm here as the chair of the Carver Trail and Conservation Stewards Committee. I came to you last winter. It was a slightly different commission. We have a couple new members now. And explained that I was applying on behalf of the Trails and Stewards Committee for a grant from Mass Trails. And I asked for permission at the time to use the Wetlands Protection Fee funds to purchase the equipment. The commission was very enthusiastic, as I recall, and in fact said that they were fine with us purchasing equipment whether we got the grant or not. So we did. We purchased the equipment. We did get the grant. We were awarded the grant in June. And the first list that you see, which is mostly black and white, is the list of equipment that we purchased. So there's good news, bad news. The bad news is that when we were awarded the grant, the paperwork we got indicated you can't purchase the equipment until you actually sign all the documents, the contract documents. So most of the equipment that you see in this first list has already been purchased with the commission's approval, but will not be reimbursed. The second list, and the good news is that actually we realized that we needed about twice as much equipment as we had originally asked for anyway. So it's kind of, we sort of parlayed this into taking off some things that had been on the original list, adding some other things we realized we needed. And with your blessing, we will now purchase the second list, which is highlighted in yellow. It goes on to the other second page there. The request is slightly lower than the original request, and I did have an email from the person at Mass Trails who oversees this, and he said he's going to keep $130 in case we come up with something else. So that's the difference between the original request and the second one. This second list that's highlighted in yellow will be reimbursed at 80%. So you will get 80% of your wetlands protection fee money back if you choose to let us use it, hopefully. So I don't think I need to read off of this list. You can tell we have a lot of additions for potential wounds, physical problems in the field.
Four tourniquets, huh?
Yeah.
Have a lot of faith.
You never know. I know. Just having been out there a lot in the spring and summer, we realized that we were kind of underprepared, as it were. So.
I have a question, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, go right ahead.
How many different properties does the committee work on? I'm just not familiar with how many.
This grant was
Savory Ave and Coles.
right. So this grant was written specifically for the Cole property.
Okay.
But which we haven't done a lot of work on yet. The original equipment we purchased, we did a lot of work on Savory Avenue.
Okay.
But we've done some work on the Cole property. The three main properties that have trails on them now are the Cole property off Pleasant Street, the Savory Avenue, on Savory Avenue, and then there's one on Indian Street. It's Indian Brook Conservation Land, and that's called Camden Trail. It's really inaccessible right now.
Okay.
But we're going to get to it.
Okay.
Hopefully in the spring.
Good.
Yeah. We own, the Conservation Commission has the care and custody of a number of other parcels around town that are some mostly smaller. They don't have trails on them yet, but hopefully they will at some point. We have 10 acres here, 12 acres there. So there are quite a few. If you go to the Open Space and Recreation Plan, which I think is still up on the website, that will show you all the different conservation parcels.
Okay,
around,
all the
and
CRs.
whether they're accessible or not.
Okay.
So our goal is to make them all accessible. And
Okay.
you just need a lot of equipment. We don't want to have people standing around with no equipment, just, you know. So anyway, that my request tonight is that you would allow us to use the Wetlands Protection Fee Fund again for this equipment. All 3 properties actually have wetlands on them too, so it's kind of convenient.
All right, any other questions from anyone?
How much is actually in the account? Do we know that?
This came out of our maintenance account?
Yeah, last we knew, we paid a couple of bills, but a little bit of money's been going in. I think for around 50 grand or
Yeah,
something.
I was going to say high
Yeah.
40s.
Yeah.
And it gets added to with, as land goes into, comes out of 61A. So, oh no, that goes into the acquisition fund.
Yeah, I think.
No, this is our fees.
That's the
Yeah,
land
yeah,
trust fund.
for NOIs and.
Yeah,
Right.
this is funded by our fees.
And I've had a couple good projects come in, so we got a few bucks.
So there's no question we're depleting funds that aren't going to be readily.
No, and we're getting 80% back on these, and we've
Yeah.
already approved the original outlay, whether or not the reimbursement was going to happen.
This is $100 less, right, roughly?
Well,
Yeah, essentially, you will only really be paying $1,331. So you'll be reimbursed $5,191.
all right. So the one that's almost all black and white, this has been purchased already, is that correct?
Most of it has, not every single, so you'll see some repeats.
Yes, that was my question.
So,
So what hasn't been purchased off of this one has been added to this one? Is that what you're saying? Switching glasses?
that's right, don't laugh. So we got the 79cc chainsaw and the sawmill, so that's been taken off the updated list. Everything on the updated list in yellow, everything that's in white,
Okay.
we're getting again.
Okay.
So the yellow just indicates different things we're getting this time. So on the last list, we weren't getting tourniquets and we weren't getting wound glue.
Did something happen that did put that on? Did something happen that put that on your radar?
No, I think we just started thinking, uh-oh, here we are out in the woods and nothing happened, but what if it did?
Well,
No, I mean-
absolutely, because you're a long way away from anybody getting out there to help you. So.
And we figured two first aid kits, probably not enough.
Probably not, no.
Especially if you have a lot of volunteers, so.
All right, for instance, just looking, excuse me, Ann.
Sure.
Just looking at the list, going, top to bottom, hatchet, 2 hatchets is on both lists. Does that mean we're going to have 4?
That's correct.
Same is true with the 45cc chainsaws?
Correct.
We're getting 2 more? All right.
Oh, I see.
But this time we're going to get some chaps to go with it.
Okay, yeah, we talked about that when I was back on that.
Yeah.
First aid kits are new, hard hats. We're going to have 16 additional hard hats,
Yes.
28 total.
And they're going to be a kind of a different kind too.
Okay,
They're harder hard hats. I don't know how to explain it better than that. But they look more substantial.
all right.
They are more substantial. And
And
you can fit the visors over these.
Okay.
Oh, I see.
And everything else, there's not a repeat on anything else. Yeah, the butterfly wound closures for serious wounds as
Yes.
opposed to the tourniquets.
Well,
For the less serious wounds.
Okay. All right, so the repeated items is a duplicate order, just so we have more.
Correct.
More of that equipment.
I initially
Okay.
misunderstood it.
Yeah.
I get it.
Sorry.
Yeah.
All right, Ann, you had a
I
question?
just have a question. So, do you have people that are certified using chainsaws? Like certified?
Yes.
Oh, that's good.
Yes.
And do you have someone, because I want to serve on this as well, and I do have first aid and CPR certification.
yes, we have, one of our members is trained, and we don't do anything unless he's there.
Okay, that's great. I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah.
The only thing I'd add is loppers. You might want to consider, loppers.
Yeah,
We use them a lot.
it's funny because the first time we met in the woods, everyone brought loppers. That's
As
the
long
one
as
thing like
people
everybody
bring their
has.
own, yeah, okay.
So,
Everything looks great.
and we're storing them, pretty sure Dan ran this by you, but we're storing them in the garage at 44 Lakeview,
Yes,
and he has the access, so.
yes. Yeah, we talked about that
Yeah.
when you came in, and that's no problem.
It's
We
a
didn't have a
nice,
problem
nice,
with that.
secure location, it's an appropriate place for them.
Right.
And is it the case that Dan Badger is on this?
Yes.
Okay, so
Yes,
he's the one that
certified
knows all
guy.
that.
Mhm, yeah.
Yeah, not only is Dan certified in using all these things, but he's certified to train people
That's
I know,
right.
yeah,
how to
yes,
use them,
that's-
which is even better.
Yeah, it is. It's great.
All right, any other questions? All right, I'll entertain a motion to approve the second list, and we'll get a reimbursement of 80% from the grants.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All right, Dave made the motion, Carl seconded it. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Hearing any opposed? None?
5-0.
You're all set?
Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you,
you.
Sarah.
Thank
Much
you, Sarah.
appreciated.
Thanks, Sarah.
All right, see ya.
Okay, we'll get to the minutes after our hearing. All right. 278 Tremont Street. Did we get a number?
Yes, we got it yesterday.
Okay.
It is SE 126-0677, and DEP had no comments.
Okay. So, this is I'll just read it. 278 Tremont Street, ANRAD DEP file SE 126677. Notice is hereby given in accordance with the Massachusetts Wetlands Protection Act, MGL, Chapter 131, Section 40, and the Carver Wetlands Protection Bylaw, that a public hearing will be held at 7:00 p.m. on Wednesday, January 17th, 2023, in Meeting Room 1 at the Carver Town Hall to hear the abbreviated notice of resource area delineation, an ANRAD, submitted on behalf of Derek Varley, who is requesting under the ANRAD confirmation of bordering vegetated wetland, riverfront area, inland bank, and land under water bodies and waterways on the property. The project is located at 278 Tremont Street in Carver, Assessor's Map Lot 126, or Map 126, Lot 25-0-R. All interested parties are invited to attend.
Joe Webby, Webby Engineering.
How are you?
And with me is Derek Raleigh, he's behind me. This is 278 Tremont Street. The Valleys wish to purchase the property, and it abuts on the southeast side, Crane Brook. And we had Brook Monroe go out there and delineate the resource areas, and we have so mapped them with the associated border buffer zones and restrictive zones. And I understand that there was a site walk out there today.
Yes, we were all there today, as was Brooke. It's good to see Brooke again. Any comments, questions from members of the board?
No, it was pretty well explained earlier.
Anything from you, Dave?
No, not really. I mean,
All right, Gary, is there anything you'd like to?
No, I went out there,
forward?
like I said, last Friday, before the snow, and I dug 5 auger holes in the soil randomly along the whole line, and it sits as a disturbed site, which means there's just lawn. You know, it's not native vegetation. She did an okay job, it was fine.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, we all looked at it today, and it was pretty evident that Crane Brook is very visible. And everything was flagged the way it should be. It is riverfront, so there are, certain additional restrictions as this moves forward. Right now, this is just an ANRAD, it has nothing to do with any kind of a project. It's just us saying that, yes, we agree with what the plans show as being wetlands and the delineation. So, if there's nothing from the board, do we have any comments or any questions from residents? Anyone here from? Yes, sir, please come up. And I'd like you to sign in to the, and just give your name and where you live.
Thank you.
Good evening, John McNeil, 8 Seepit Street, Carver. I live across the street from the little bit where it just goes up onto Seepet Street there, and I didn't really fully understand the letter I got in the mail, so I wasn't sure if there was actually any building plans or anything like that. I was just concerned if there was going to be anything that would be, if there was going to be anything built like directly across the street from my house.
That
Are we just not there yet? Is that?
That's the best answer. We're
Okay.
not there yet.
All right.
All this hearing is tonight is to agree with the wetlands expert that what she marked on this plan is correct.
Okay.
Regarding where the buffer zones are
Yeah,
primarily.
fair enough, yeah, because I was just, I got the brook right across the street from there, so I wasn't sure if.
Yeah,
Right.
they
We're
don't,
not
they
there
don't
yet.
have to tell us their intent, just.
Right, yeah.
This is the resource areas and.
Right.
Oh, okay, all right, fair
Yeah.
enough then, yeah.
Okay.
Cool, thank
And just so you know, can you see on the
I'm listening,
on
sorry.
the board?
Yeah,
The three colors, the pink is a 65-foot buffer from a wetlands, the green is 100-foot, and the yellow is 200 feet from a riverfront, which is all within our jurisdiction. Anything to the left and top of that yellow line is outside our jurisdiction.
okay.
So should there be a plan at some point that involves that land, which it looks as though is the property across from you, if that is split off as a separate lot and it does not impinge on that yellow line, then they would not come in front of us.
Okay.
They would have no reason to come in front of us. Just
Fair
so
enough.
giving you a heads up, all right?
Thank you.
Yep.
And, Mr. Chairman, I think this is publicly accessible, right? So you could
Yes.
see this map on.
Yeah,
online.
I have a copy of
You
it,
have a
yeah,
copy of it.
I didn't see the highlighter version. I have
Oh,
mine
that's-
black and white, so that's perfect,
Yeah,
yeah.
that'd be-
All right, cool, thanks.
All right, so is this one of those negative?
No,
This
this
is-
is like an, this is
It's like an
an
NOI.
order of conditions, you guys.
All right, does anyone, are there anybody else have any comments or questions? No? Everyone's good? All right, then I will accept a motion to approve the ANRAD for,
Do we have to close the
Close the public hearing.
yes, thank you. I'll accept a motion to close the public hearing.
So moved.
Second.
All right, it's been moved and second to close the public hearing. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none. It's approved. All right, now I will accept a motion to approve the ANRAD for DEP SE 1260677.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Carl, seconded by Dave. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none. It is approved 5-0.
Okay, just for the record, the plan is ANRAD Plan of Land in Carver, Mass., prepared for Derek Barley. Scales 1 is 60, December 20th, 2023 is the date, by Webby Engineering.
All right. And we're going to get a set signed?
December 20th.
Are we going to get a set signed?
Pardon?
Are we going to have a sign? The plan signed by,
Oh, him, all right, yeah, thank you. Ready, I need you for a minute.
yeah, we just need your
This will be the plan
signature.
of record. We'll put the guy's thing right there, so like right there, if you would sign it and date it, that way down the road, if it comes up, everybody knows that's the plan. Yep, yes, sir. Thanks for doing that. Have a good one.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Back to the minutes. I think we had one minor correction. Is that correct? We had to change 183 to 187 on the unanticipated area. Anybody else have any corrections, concerns, questions about the minutes?
That's all I saw.
All right, I'll accept a motion to approve the minutes as amended.
So moved.
Second.
Dave, Carl. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none. The minutes are approved. Is there anything unanticipated? Anybody have anything that we want to add? So we have 3 weeks till our next meeting, February 7th. I think, is that the right date?
I believe so,
The
yeah.
7th?
Yeah, I believe, yeah, it's close to that.
Okay, so it'll be the 7th and the 21st in February.
And I'll get that letter out for 187 no later than Monday, so that gives him plenty of time to respond.
Yeah, yeah. All right, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All right, it's been moved and second to adjourn. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, we're out. Thank you, Area 58.